Episode 32, How to Love Your Pregnant Body, part of the Love Your Body series. No, there is no way, no magic way to suddenly love your pregnant body. So if that's why you're here today, I'm very sorry to disappoint. But if I know you, I would say you're not here because you think there's a magic fix, but because you're willing to try something to help yourself fix it. This episode will give a pregnant woman the foundations for learning to love her pregnant body. Everybody's journey will be different. Self-love is work, guys. You know that. I know that. Sometimes it's difficult and not everybody's plan works for everyone else. And so this episode is to help you and help me figure out our own plans to loving our pregnant bodies. I've got some ideas, and I'm going to ask you to try and put one of your own plans together. All right, let's get into it. Hi, I'm Lindsay Clyde, and this is the Learn, Live, Love Yourself podcast, where we learn who we are, live true to who we want to be, and love ourselves better every day. If your passion is progress, then you're in the right place. Each week, we tackle pop challenges that push our limits and create lasting change. Are you ready? It's time to grow. Come learn, live, love yourself with me. This week's episode is brought to you by this amazing sports bra I found last time I was pregnant. I used it all through the time I was pregnant, all through nursing, and I still use it today. It's been like 2 years, guys. But I love it, and I can't believe it's actually adjusted with me this entire time. This company doesn't even know how much I actually love their bra. But if you use the link in the show notes to purchase this bra off of Amazon, I receive a tiny, awesome, small, tiny commission from every purchase made. And I would be so grateful if you would consider purchasing using my link. Thank you for supporting the Learn, Live, Love Yourself podcast. Okay. And again, you can find that link to the miracle bra in my show notes or at learnliveloveyourself.com/episode/32. Okay. Merry Christmas. Buy yourself a sports bra. No. There is no magic way to love your body. There's no magic way to love your pregnant body. You are here today because you know that it takes work, right? And no, these methods that we're going to talk about today are not for women who just want to complain about how hard it is to get used to their new pregnant bodies, which previously was me. I just wanted to say to my husband how hard it was without actually doing anything about it. So if that's you, I love you. I know, I get it. But this episode's not going to be for you. This episode is for the people who are ready to make a change. For the women who feel like they are done complaining without having a plan to put in place to actually change how they feel. Because it's going to take mental work. It's going to take mental, physical, and spiritual work to change your mindset. Being pregnant is not for weaklings, and loving your pregnant body, that work is not for weaklings either. But you're here, you can do it. I'm just going to give you some tips that I have found helpful and that I am planning to implement next time I'm pregnant because, man, I've had a hard time loving my pregnant body. And so I want to just discuss this today. I would love to hear your thoughts. You are not weak. You are strong. You are carrying a baby, and it's time for you to feel at peace with what you look like in the process. All right, okay. Let's start talking about this. Bodies. How about bodies? Bodies are hard. We expect so much from our bodies. Go back to episode 4 if you feel like you need a little refresher about why your body is a good friend. But look at these bodies we have. They are miracles. Okay, they are incredible, just like that bra I was talking about earlier. But we take them for granted every single day. And even though we largely ignore all that they do for us, our bodies keep plodding along, working pretty smoothly, getting over sicknesses, healing scrapes, walking around. It truly is a miracle. And one of the biggest miracles of all is that they have the capacity to grow and nourish another human being. Now, this takes a huge toll on our bodies. We can't forget that. How could we forget that? And the body makes so many adjustments to adequately provide for this new human. But do we? do we make the adjustments needed to make space and give love to our bodies? Are we willing to change our expectations of our bodies so that we can provide for our bodies while our bodies provide for this new little human? It is not always easy to love your pregnant body. And if you are one of those women who just love being pregnant, I love you, I'm jealous of you, but this episode is not for you. Except maybe to help you gain some insight or sympathy into how it is for most women. All right, so let's talk about this. My stomach was so large with my first pregnancy, so huge. And if I was ever able to forget it for a moment, it wasn't long before somebody reminded me how ginormous I actually was. Lots of people, family, friends, complete strangers, loved to tell me how huge my belly was. And this was depressing. It was like all these people around me didn't care at all about how I was actually feeling about myself or the huge sacrifice my body was making to bring this baby into life, but all they cared about was saying their little piece about how bizarre I looked with this baby in my stomach. You know, I have no waist, so there's nowhere for the baby to settle down in between my ribs and my hips, so my pregnant belly, it literally does just stick straight out in front of me. I know, it's strange. It made me look huge and awkward, and I knew it. And I tried to forget it, but I never could, because everyone needed to make some stupid comment about it. And not only did I feel like I looked like a freaky alien to normal people, but this pregnancy gave me a bazillion stretch marks, a saggy stomach skin, and a belly button crater, okay? And then, the next time I got pregnant, it happened again. I still didn't like it, and I still didn't handle it well. Is this story going anywhere? You're wondering where this story is going. Yes, it's going somewhere. Continue listening. Here it goes. I got pregnant a third time, and this time I was a fitness instructor. So obviously my stomach stayed small, and people were always like, "Wow, you look killer. I can't even tell that you're pregnant. You still have abs." Just kidding. That did not happen. Did you hear the sarcasm in my voice? That did not happen. Nobody said that, and my belly was also still huge. And then once again, my body was on display for everyone around me to make fun of. And I was working so hard to stay in shape so that I could teach my classes while I was pregnant, but I still looked like a huge balloon, or like a huge basketball was shoved up underneath my tank top. And you know what? I thought, what gives? You know what gives? I'll tell you what gives. Your body. Your body is what gives. It gives and gives and gives. And what do? We get angry at it and throw little tantrums because it doesn't look like a runway model while carrying a human. And we let people walk all over our feelings because we don't have the guts to stop and say to others and to ourselves, enough. I'm not taking this anymore. I refuse to internalize any of these comments that I or others make about my pregnant body. I refuse to begrudge my body when it is doing something absolutely amazing. Yes, I will gain weight. I will look differently to how I did before. That's normal. That's right. And if anyone, including myself, tells me otherwise, I will stand strong and remember my body was made for this. It was made to do this. It was made to look like this, and no one, not even myself, has the right to make me feel badly about it. Okay, that's great, Linz, you say. It's one thing to say this to myself, but how do I get myself to actually feel it? Well, that's up to you. Everyone is different. You need to come up with your own plan. The next part of this episode is my plan for the next time I get pregnant. Let it give you some ideas. Copy it if you really want to, or tweak it to make it feel right for you. But as with other areas of my life, I have been able to tackle my body love challenges from a few different angles, using a few different tools. They are physical, mental, and spiritual. So let's learn. How do we use physical, mental, and spiritual tools to love our pregnant bodies? My third pregnancy was really empowering. I had 2 little girls at home. They were at home with me all day long. No preschool, no school, no nothing. And so I really hardly had any time for myself. But because I was teaching a class at the YMCA, I was forced to go to the gym throughout my whole pregnancy. Even in the beginning when I was sick, I would chew gum and I would drink Gatorade so that I wouldn't vomit halfway through our class. But doing hard things while I was pregnant really felt empowering. Now, and if you're extremely sick and you can't go to the gym because you can't keep fluids down, I'm not telling everyone, go to the gym. That's not what I'm saying. What I'm saying is this. Consider doing something physical with your body that creates a feeling of being on a team with your body. It creates a bond with your body. Working with your body, doing things that make your body feel good, especially when it feels so junky all the time while you're pregnant, is so needed to learn to love your pregnant body. It's like doing service for someone you love. It strengthens your feelings for that person. So why shouldn't doing physical service for your own body do the same? What are some ways that you can do physical things with your body that help you feel more like a team? And also, what can you do for your body to show it some more love? Examples. Some examples are these. You can exercise. You know what? Prenatal yoga on YouTube works. You can stretch. You can teach yourself a new coordination skill like juggling or something. That is work, and that is working with your body to try and do something new. You can go get pampered and take extra time to slowly do nice things for yourself. Like when you are putting on your clothes, don't try and rush through it. Just think, I'm glad that I can clothe my pregnant body right now. It sounds silly, but taking the time to think and purposefully do nice things for your body makes a big, big difference. And lastly, give yourself a hug or a high five or, a little back scratch if you can reach, a little back tickle if you can reach around. These things, these physical and loving gestures we make really do strengthen our relationship with our bodies. Let's talk about mental. The mentality, I think, is the hardest part. Our pregnant bodies are physical and we can feel the pain, and the thoughts that we have about our pregnant bodies are mental and they're slippery. It is so difficult to actually catch ourselves thinking all of these negative thoughts that we're having. They come so quickly, and sometimes they pass and sometimes not. Sometimes they stick. But what do we do with them? Often, it's nothing. We don't do anything. We let them come. We let the thoughts come and do whatever they want, wreak whatever havoc on our self-esteem that these thoughts want to wreak. And that's not okay. It's time to stop and actually take charge of these negative thoughts we're having about our pregnant bodies. Because guys, I am still thinking about a comment somebody made about my ginormous tummy in my first pregnancy. That was almost 7 years ago, and I'm still thinking about it kind of regularly. It comes up in my brain a lot. For some reason, I want to hold on to these hurtful things people have said about me. Why? That doesn't make any sense. The only thing I can think of is that I am not willing to do the hard mental work to forgive and forget. I'd rather let these thoughts replay in my mind than stop myself and actually do something about it. I'm not strong enough to get rid of them as they come, but that is something I have to work on. And when trying to love your pregnant body, it is so, so important to learn this skill. Are you there too? Are you feeling this way too? Are you ready to stop letting these thoughts take over your life? We should only take in the things that are useful to us. And if it's not useful, we're going to put it in the incinerator. Okay? Listen to this. My mental practice for my next pregnancy is going to be something kind of fun. I love these mental practices, guys. I think they are so impactful and they make me laugh. Okay? Double awesome. This is what I'm going to do. I'm going to imagine that every hurtful comment that somebody says to me gets put in the incinerator. I'm going to imagine this. I imagine someone, an assistant, let's call him Jeffrey. Jeffrey hands me a card with the mean words that someone has said about myself, or that I have said about myself. I'm ugly, I'm fat, I'm huge, or you look like you're about to pop. All those stupid things people say and that we say to ourselves, they're written down on little note cards. And Jeffrey, my assistant, he hands them to me. And what I do first is I put on huge, thick rubber gloves in my brain. I'm putting on huge, thick rubber gloves. I grab these metal tongs and I reach out with them. I open the tongs and grasp that little note card out of Jeffrey's hand. I pull down some big, thick sunglass goggles over my eyes and I wheel open this huge, heavy metal door. And when I open it, inside is a raging fire. It's my mean, negative thought incinerator. And I reach my tongs out and I drop that little comment card into the fire and boom, I slam shut the metal door and spin that wheel to lock it. You know, I'm really bad at sound effects. That's it. I dropped those mean words into a raging furnace and it is gone. Those thoughts are gone. And every time those mean words come back to haunt me, because man, I don't know why, my brain is not good at incinerating things yet. If it happens again, what am I going to do? What am I going to do? I'm going to imagine Jeffrey, thank you, Jeffrey, handing me that card. Tink! I close it in my large metal tongs. I open that huge door. I throw the card into the raging furnace and slam the door shut. I will repeat this mental image in my head, continually burning and burning and burning those negative thoughts and memories until my mind focuses more on the image of me and my assistant Jeffrey than it does on the feelings that I attached to those negative thoughts on the cards. Does that make sense? The mental work you do to deal with your thoughts will be more powerful if you come up with your own idea about how you get rid of your mean thoughts. So you need to come up with something for yourself. You can use mine, but you need to change the name of the assistant or something. You know, the image has to be yours. The only thing I say that you have to do are these 2 rules. 1, the words have to be on something destructible, okay? They could be written on a balloon that you pop or a cake that your dog eats. I don't know, but the words have to be on something that can be destroyed. But the mean words that were said to you or you are thinking about yourself, they have to be on something that can be destroyed. The second rule is you can't have the person who said those mean things to you, you can't have them in your mental image because it's not about them. If Uncle Bernard said something rude to you about your pregnant body, he can't be in your imagination while you are getting rid of these thoughts. Because it is only about you, your imaginary assistant, and the item with the words to be destroyed on it. That's it. And the reason is this, because the feelings that you have created, that you've attached to this note card of mean words, they're created by you. Yes, Uncle Bernard said them, but the feelings you feel associated with those words, that's on you. My feelings are created by me. And if that's hard to understand, think about this really fast. If someone says, Lindsay, your hair looks awesome today, I can create meaning out of that in 2 ways. I can either say to myself, oh, they like my hair. Or I could say, they were being sarcastic. How rude. They totally don't think my hair looks good. If I take it as a compliment, I've thought, they like my hair. I like that they like my hair. Therefore, I feel happy. I created the feelings of being happy because of their compliment. It's not about who said it to me. It's about the feelings I created. Or if I was thinking they were being sarcastic, I would say to myself, they were making fun of me. I don't like it when people make fun of me. I feel embarrassed. Do you see how I created the meaning from the words that were said? So whether the person was being sincere or not is not the issue. It's not about the person who says the thing. The issue is how you made meaning out of it. Okay, so what does this have to do with destroying the words? Okay, the words are what represents the meaning. It's not about Uncle Bernard. It's not about that one random old lady in the grocery store who said something about your tummy. It's about the meaning you attached to those words. And so we have to focus on putting those words and the feelings that we felt about those words into the fire, popping that balloon. Dog eats the cake. You know, it's gone. Those feelings are gone, totally unattached to the person and how we feel about them. Because we don't have a choice about what people say to us, do we? I wish we did because, man, my pregnancies would have been easier if people would just keep their stinking mouths shut. But what I do have control over, what I can choose to do, is to deal with the words and deal with them swiftly. Burn those words quick, my dear, because you are running out of time. The longer you let them sit, the deeper they sink, and the harder we have to work to get them out. Especially when you are pregnant. It is vital to work on this because the extra hormones really, really, truly reduce our ability, our capacity to respond to mean words with grace and with poise and clarity. So let's start our mental practice now. I'm going to be starting practicing this right now because I'm not pregnant yet, but I will be in the future, and I'm going to need all the practice to love my pregnant body before it actually happens. But if you are pregnant right now, you can always begin right now. It's never too late to start working on yourself. Okay, lastly, spiritual tools. Not everyone listening right now is a spiritual person. If that's you, hello. Thank you for being here. Don't worry, there still might be an application from this for you. Spiritual work is so important to help establish your confidence as a pregnant woman. Spiritual work changes your perspective. Loving your pregnant body is hard when you can't see outside of yourself. But who can do that for you? Who can help you see outside of yourself? I think that person is God. God gives us perspective. He is grateful for your sacrifice of your body and your time and your life to have this beautiful child. You have to find him, though, to hear his voice. Taking your focus from yourself to him is the best way, in my opinion, to find peace with your pregnant body. He can carry your burden for you. Turn your mind to him. So what does this actually look like? This is a bunch of mumbo jumbo. What does it look like in real life? For me, it's praying and reading the scriptures. Surrounding myself with spiritual things leaves very little room for hate of any kind, especially self-hate and self-loathing. Something else that works for me is a gratitude rant. When I'm feeling bad about myself, I know I have so many things to be grateful for, so I really actually feel bad for complaining about my body or about how people treat me and all that jazz. I think it's okay to complain. But my opinion is it's only okay to complain a little and only if you're willing to do something about the problem you're having. So here is what a gratitude rant is. And yes, I made this up. I totally made this up, but I love it. This is what you got to do. In a mad or annoyed voice, I start listing all the things I'm grateful for outside of my body. Things that don't even have to do with my body. And then after I've gotten through quite a long list of things I'm grateful for outside of myself, I swoop back around to start saying how grateful I am for my body at the end of my gratitude rant. This helps me, and this will help you, put yourself in a better mood, and I actually really feel the sincerity behind the words that I'm saying by the time I get to the end of my gratitude rant. I start out as a childish adult throwing a tantrum while listing the things I love. But then as I start to laugh at myself because I'm so ridiculous and I feel the truth of the words I'm saying sink into my heart, I'm in a better place to be honest and feel the love I actually really do have for my pregnant body. Okay, so a little example. Ready? I would start like this. I'm happy for food. I'm grateful for my family. I'm grateful for this house. I'm grateful for my car. I'm grateful for the YMCA. I'm grateful for fall leaves. I'm grateful for yummy Brussels sprouts. I'm grateful for toilet paper and indoor plumbing. I'm grateful for my kids. I'm grateful for my husband. I'm grateful that we live in a country that is free. I'm grateful for refrigerators. I'm grateful for Target. I'm grateful for Amazon. I'm grateful for this podcast. And as I continue to go, I can move into, I am grateful for my legs. I'm grateful for my feet that I can walk around. I'm grateful for my eyes that they see. I'm grateful that I can taste things. I'm grateful that I have a heart that pumps blood every day of my life. I'm grateful for lungs that help me breathe every single day of my life. And I'm grateful for my pregnant body. I'm grateful for my huge tummy. I'm grateful that there's a baby inside of there. I am grateful to be pregnant. That's a gratitude rant. Try it. It works. Okay, and the last thing is service. And I know the last thing you want to do as a pregnant person is help other people. But service is so, so key. When I am pregnant again, I am going to try and really focus on service. But I'm already giving so much, you say, or I say, doing so much just to grow this child. I should be taking time just to focus on myself. And yes, while there is time for us to look at ourselves and try and do nice things for ourselves, I'm going to say to myself, no, let's try to push myself to be a little bit more serviceable. Being humble and offering what I can offer when I can offer it makes me stronger. It helps me receive heavenly strength. I see this in my personal, normal, non-pregnant life. When I get out of my own head and start seeing others and what I might do for them, my life is lifted. When do I feel my best? I feel my best when I am immersed and enjoying actually helping someone else. That's when I feel my best. So when I'm pregnant, not feeling my best, that's what I'm going to do. In Matthew, in the King James Version of the Bible, in Matthew 25:40, it says, Christ says this, "Inasmuch as ye have done it unto the least of these my brethren, ye have done it unto me." So service rendered to others is service rendered to God. I can feel a deep sense of perspective and belonging and love when I lose myself in helping others. Same can be true for you. And so that's what I'm going to try to do. It isn't about how my body looks or feels right now. It's about what I choose to do despite my discomfort and my sad feelings about myself. And in the end, I know all of this will be hard. I know it will be. I've tried all of these things in bits and pieces during my last 3 pregnancies, but this time I'm committed to trying. Because what's the alternative? The alternative is being depressed about how I look and feel and how others treat me and remember the dumb things they say 7 years after the fact. And I refuse to accept that as how my life is. What about you? Do you refuse to accept these negative feelings about your body? If so, what's your plan? All right, we're living this with the Pop Challenge. The Pop Challenge is a power of practice challenge. How are you going to practice this in your life? The challenge is this. Write down 3 ways that you promise to love your pregnant body. This time or next time if you're not pregnant right now. One needs to be a physical way, one needs to be a mental way, and one needs to be a spiritual way. Hang it on the closet door where you will see it all the time when you're getting dressed and trying on different clothes because nothing fits you, nothing fits your new body. That's where we need to see it and be reminded of it every day. All right, we're almost done. Moving on to the love yourself portion of this episode. Here's your mantra to repeat. Are you ready? Repeat it after me. I am pregnant. Look at that. It feels like forever. But being pregnant really is only a short while. I am grateful to be pregnant. I don't always act grateful, but I am. I know I can have better control of how I view and treat my pregnant body. I will treat it with kindness. I will treat it with consideration. I will work with my body as a team to get through this pregnancy. When one of us slips up, we will forgive each other and try again. My body is important. My opinion of my body is important. I am an example to myself and to others. I'm not perfect, but I'm trying. My body is not perfect, but it's trying. We're trying. I'm learning to love my pregnant body. All right, everybody. Thanks for listening. I hope that you come up with a plan to learn to love your pregnant body, because it is wonderful, it is amazing. It's time to stop letting our thoughts dictate how we feel about this miraculous event. I'm Lindsay Clyde. This is the Learn, Live, Love Yourself podcast. And next week we have Lindsay Brady coming on here to talk about secondary infertility. And I'm telling you, you will not want to miss this. Merry Christmas. Gift yourself some love this year. And maybe that bra I was talking about earlier. Find the link on the show notes page. All right. I'll see you next week. Thanks. Love ya. Bye.